This is a closer look at the tablet, which arrives in this manufacturer's box, completely unbranded, unprinted, but it's well presented. It's got foam around the outside, and what I always like to see on tablets is it has a factory fitted screen protector, which you possibly can't see, but it is there. And even better, that's an information slip, there's a spare included within the pack, so there's no excuse for the screen not looking in brand new condition following use. This is the tablet itself taken out of the box. The build quality is good, it's nicely finished. I quite like this leather effect finish with stitching. Obviously it isn't real, it's just the pattern of it, but it makes a change from the usual. To one end are the control buttons and connection ports, including mini HD for connecting to a TV or computer screen for watching videos, for example. There's micro USB, again for connecting to a computer to exchange files and also for charging. There's a headphone socket, 3.5mm jack socket. You can also connect an external speaker to that. The power on off button. There's also a camera with a flash, which is perhaps a bit unusual in a tablet in this price range. And this is the microphone, which is used with the voice recorder and also for video recordings. Then finally to the side is the micro SD card port to add additional memory. And now we'll take a quick look at the features this tablet offers. This is the main home screen, which you always get back to by pressing on this circular home button here, and to access the apps simply press on the key here. This now brings up a list of apps. It has its own Android browser. I install BT Wi-Fi, which I need to get my hotspots in order to actually run the tablet, bearing in mind I was away from home while testing it. It has a calculator, all very obvious and very easy. Calendar function. The camera is not that brilliant, I have to be honest. It's also got very few settings. Limited to front camera, rear camera, flash on or off. It has HDR, which is a bit surprising, but it's not terribly good. A grid and a self timer. That's about all the options you've got. The photo quality is not particularly good either. The images tend to be quite soft. I'll go on to the next. Oh, there's also video as well. That films in MP4, which I'm always pleased to see, but again, there are no real settings to change as such. Front or rear camera, and that's about it. Again, the quality is not that good, but we'll come on to that later. It's got a clock with an alarm function, general clock, timer and a countdown, which is good. I have a Google account, so I like to access all my Google files. It's got all the usuals: email, file manager system, gallery for looking at the photos, Gmail for email, Google, which I'm a big fan of, and the Google settings. Because I've got a Google account, it's really handy. I just log into my Google account and all my favourites and bookmarks are brought up automatically, which makes setup really quick and easy. Google Maps, which is also good for navigating. You can play music, the Play Store, so you can go and choose your own apps, download them and customise the tablet. I downloaded a screenshot program as well. That was purely to take a few screenshots from this for reference. There's the settings menu, so you can set it up as you wish. Although I found I didn't actually need to change anything on this or set anything up apart from the clock, which defaults to Chinese Eastern time. But very easy. Keep an eye on your storage. The storage is quite generous. It already includes 16 gig hard drive, of which 10.4 gigs is currently available for downloading your own apps. That is after I've downloaded the BT Wi-Fi app and the screenshots. And then once I've finished demonstrating it, then I'll download my preferred apps such as Facebook and some of my other favourites. I don't want to clutter it up for the demonstration, and also I want viewers to see what you actually get with this. One feature I particularly like with the Android 5.1 Lollipop is the users menu, because you can actually set up different accounts on the tablet. So I could have my own account as the owner, but I could also set up guest accounts for other family members and maybe restrict some of their activities and programs and things that they can access. That can be quite useful. Setup is really very easy. I had to change the time, and that really was the only thing involved in my setup. So I changed it from the default Chinese Eastern Time to GMT, but you can also just use automatic date and time from the network. So very little setting up is required with this tablet, so you can use it really within just a few minutes of taking it out of the box. Very simple. So to go back to the various options, you can play music on it, Skype. It's got a sound recorder, and that is surprisingly good. The volume on it is a lot better than I expected, and is much better than I've seen on other tablets that I've used. The volume is quite good, and it sounds reasonable as well. You can recognise the person talking, and you can't always say that from many. So I'll have a look at the gallery. As I said, the camera on this is not good, but don't let that put you off. That's a photo I've taken with the camera. The colour balance is okay, but really the image is quite soft. So really all you can do is use it for very casual snapshots. It's a fixed focus camera, the images are soft, the colour balance is okay, but the photos are not brilliant, it has to be said. So these are some photos I took when I was testing the tablet in Cornwall, but I took these photos on my camera and now I'm playing them back on the tablet, and you can see there the colour balance is quite bright and vivid. You can pinch in and out, zoom in to look at photos, and the picture quality on this is pretty good. The images are nice and sharp, so playback is good, and it's good for looking at photos, viewing photos, but not really for taking photos. So that is one limitation, but it's a budget tablet and you have to bear that in mind at this price level. You don't get absolutely everything. So although it's good for looking at photos, it's not good for taking photos, and the same also applies for video. The video is not the best. Again, it has to be said. It's fixed focus. The audio is better than I would expect, but it does have limitations. However, video playback is very good, and the sound isn't bad either. This is just a demonstration video, and it's not one that's been filmed by the tablet, but just take a look. You can adjust the volume up or down. I'll put it onto maximum.
Didn't need to see that. Nope.
Just pause it. So you can see there the playback is actually very good. So this is the ideal tablet for taking away, for watching videos but just not making them, for looking at photos but not actually taking photos, and definitely for surfing the net. You can use this browser here, and we'll just have a look at the BBC, for example. Now we don't have the fastest broadband here, but even with our slower broadband, let's just take a look at a video playback.
Severe tropical cyclone Winston is now clearing away from Fiji, but it's certainly made its mark. It's the strongest tropical cyclone to have made landfall in Fiji since records began. Now this storm has been on an incredible journey.
So you can see there that video played well with no stuttering, and again good volume. Just look at another site. We'll look at, where should we go, Daily Mail. I'm using this site because this is one that always has lots of data, lots of photos, lots of text, and can be slow to load. Just look at all that. And that was literally within just a few seconds that loaded. And we'll just take one story, Paddington Bear. Just see how quickly that loads. That's a pretty good speed. And again, it has a good display. It's nice and easy to read. You can zoom in and you can see there the characters are very clear. The screen, I have to say, is also very responsive. But there, you can see that's perfectly responsive there. And the speed is good as well. So for surfing the net, this is absolutely brilliant. Very, very easy to use, very quick, very responsive, and the size of the tablet is also good. You can use it portrait like that and hold it upright, or you can have it in the landscape mode, which I think really for this 10-inch tablet is the best way to view it. So for surfing the net, watching videos, looking at photos, playing music, it has Bluetooth, so you can connect a Bluetooth speaker, or you can actually connect a non-Bluetooth speaker via the audio out, and you can listen to music, and you can do pretty much anything on this. It's got all the facilities you'll need. It's very easy to use, very quick, very responsive, very reliable, and during the time I've been using it, I haven't had any freezes or anything, just consistently good performance. So it's definitely a tablet that I would recommend, and I also think it offers exceptional value for money at under £70, as it is at the moment. So a good buy, and one that I would recommend.